Hey fam, we are proud partners with Car Marshal. So if you or someone you know are looking for a new or used car, you can perform a nationwide search and it's free, 100% free. The best part is they help you find a car and actually negotiate the price for a hassle-free car buying experience. You can find the link in the video description box below to our channel sponsor, Car Marshal. Thank you, beautiful people. We appreciate your support. We're recording. Hey guys, welcome back to the Iron Sharpens Iron Council YouTube channel. This is Ann, and I'm here to do a really quick interview with a special guest named Dewite.
I'm not special.
And everyone is special. So, I, as I was explaining to Dwight off camera, is that we're not here to teach. This is not a storytelling time. This is just a really quick review because I get a lot of questions regarding the child support course that I put together. That package is really near and dear to my heart because it took me a number of years. I don't just throw things together. I put my heart and soul into everything that I create, and I feel very, very, responsible for people putting their trust and faith in my work. And so I'm just truly blessed. I feel really honored that you guys, have that, giving me that vote of confidence. And so with that being said, I get a lot of follow-up questions. You guys just don't even know the craziness behind the scenes. And I'm trying to keep up. So I'm hoping that this interview is going to answer a lot of the, those questions. So
let's do it.
Yeah, with that being said, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's my niece. I'm going to have to call her back. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to call her back. But basically, can you just walk us through, because the reason why I was like, okay, we have to talk because Dewite is truly a special case because from my understanding, here's what happened. And correct me and guide me because I deal with a lot of people, and I just want to make sure that I'm remembering the correct details that pertain to you. So his case, his child support case is in Tennessee?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, so purchased the course and sent out the initial notices.
Yes.
Received the good news that the case was closed. And then that wasn't good enough for Dwight. Oh no, Dwight wanted to poke the bear again. He said, I want to demand a receipt to specifically clarify that the case is closed. Okay? Yes. So then the case was reopened because they were testing you, as I was explaining to you on the phone. And then I took him through some very detailed, things that he could do and say and in response to that. And then the case was closed again, a second time. So I just wanted to be clear, abundantly clear, that I delivered. The course is complete. It offers everything that you need because the way that I go after them is in dealing with them with the debt. Okay, we kind of lightly brush over the unconstitutionality of it, but it's more or less dealing with the debt. I don't deal with the court. I don't deal with other actors. I just deal with the child support agency or whatever the agency is, whomever is making a debt claim against you. If it's the court, then it's the court. If it's a judge, then it's a judge. Whoever is making the presentment of a debt claim against you, that's what this course does. It kills all that. So you just can't imagine. I get a lot of well, what if they do this? Well, I don't know. I don't. I just know what I know. I just know what the purpose of, this course does, and that's what it did here for Dwight. So now you explain in your own words, because I don't want to be like, oh, she's just trying to sell more courses, and this is just a testimony. No. This is very meaningful, and it's also very powerful. That's why I wanted you on camera and not just your voice, because I don't want people to think that you have something to hide. I don't want people to think that you and I are in some kind of partnership or anything like that. I literally just meeting and seeing Dwight for the first time. That we have communicated via email because I provide support. I'm not going anywhere. Why people be panicking? I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I am trying to prove to you guys that I am not chasing after clout or money or any of that. I want to actually, put all of the bad actors out here stealing people's money and stealing people's courses. I want to put them out of business. And so that's why I don't ask for like a astronomical number.
Like some do.
Like a lot do. I purposely, seriously, I've been studying this thing for a while, and before I even make an offer of any kind of services or products, I make sure that I undercut everybody else and I provide the goods. And my stuff takes years. I don't just, you notice, I don't put out stuff often because I'm studying, I'm researching for years, for a long time. And so what was your reaction? I want you to kind of just throw in a little bit of, the course, because I just want some of these questions answered with you.
Right.
That's but also tell them about your case. Right.
Okay. What they need to know right off the bat is that a lot of people are thinking, okay, I'm going to get her paperwork, I'm going to send it in, and literally the next day they're going to call you saying, you know what, Miss Ann done got us again. You're good to go. It's not going to happen overnight. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be quick, it's going to be overnight. Yeah. With my particular case,
that's that microwave thinking.
Yeah. With my particular case, they would play games. They would pretend like, at one point they were like, oh, well, we don't have anything showing you owe anything. Maybe you should send us some more of your information and then we'll let you know. Or it even got as bad, Miss Ann, as I would go into the post office that was near the child support place to send the documents off, certified or certified mail, and they were even involved. The post office people, I would go to track it 2 weeks later to make sure it got there, and there would be nothing on it. There would be nothing, no record or anything like that. So people need to know that once you start this fight, that they're gonna play their little games.
But tell them the history, because I remember, you and I know the history. People that are going to be watching this when we, put it on out there, they don't know that your case is, I think you said 20 years old.
20 years old. And what's wild about that, on the very day that it started, well, first off, I've always been there for my kids. Maybe not in a money type way all the time. Right. If they needed something, I got it. But I have friends who can tell you that my son played pee-wee baseball, football, basketball, and I went to every single game, Miss Ann. And when we weren't going to his games, I'm a big kid myself, and we played at Toys R Us. I was there for him. The day that my case started 20 years ago, I remember sitting in the parking lot waiting for everything to go down when they rushed hundreds of people through their little doors, that administrative process that they claim they do. And the state attorney looked at me and said, well, how much do you think you owe? And me and my ignorance at the time, I said, you know what? Whatever y'all want to come up with, I'm good with it. He literally said, okay, well, how about we jump it off at $9,000?
Yeah.
And me and my ignorance, I said, you know what, bro, whatever you want to jump it off at. They literally started my case at $9,000.
Just arbitrarily decided on a random number.
$9,000. I did a tour of Iraq all through those years. In between, they would continue to bring me in, and I'm going in there thinking, okay, I just need to follow what these people say, blah blah blah, and just do what they say to continue to see my boy and whatever. And they bring you in there, and they literally make you feel like you're the greatest criminal of all time. And
this is their trick, straight out of their trick bag to vilify, vilify you and make you feel guilty and shameful for nothing.
Well, over that duration, I talked to a lot of people who claimed they could help. One guy, I'm sure people know who I'm talking about. He said, "Oh well, yeah, just give me $1,200. We can get this going. $1,200."
You could shame the devil and tell his name. No, because this is the kind of stuff that is just so frustrating. And this is why I got into preparing packages that I knew would work. Because I'm tired of those games that people, the so-called gurus and experts, no. And don't call me any of those, because I am just a researcher.
This guy said $1,200, and I asked him. I said, "Can you at least guarantee anything?" He's like, "No, I can't guarantee you nothing, but still send me that $1,200 and we can get you started." And I was like, "I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that." So, at some point, viewers need to understand that at some point I went from acquiescing to giving in all the way, and I was looking to take out a loan to cover the entire thing.
Wow.
And I'm glad that did not work. I'm glad it did not work. And prior to coming to you and finding your course, which ultimately worked, I got with a gentleman, Rick W. I got with Rick W. and he sent me a bunch of things. I remember literally everything going from one shade of how they were doing things to they completely changed their tune after I started sending them stuff after Rick and after I sent your stuff. Their tune went from treating me as if I had 1,000 kids and never provided from any of them to treating me as if, hey, we can work with you on this. We're willing to play nice if you just would ease up. Why so aggressive and stuff like that? They literally, the moment you stand up, and as you and Mr. Booker mentioned in one of y'all's videos, the moment you lose that fear, they go from being this big bad wolf to this little petty bully who just needed to get socked one good time in the nose. And he's like, "Man, I never meant anything by it." And it was just amazing. I sent them your stuff. I followed your advice. One guy mentioned on Gabby's Facebook thing, he said, I can't follow the instructions. And I'm like, she put the instructions in there, bro. She put them in there almost to a point where anybody could do this. And Gabby and I would go to the post office, get things notarized. Not the post office, but my bank, get things notarized, send it in to them. And I literally saw this thing go from one end of a spectrum to a completely different one once you stand up and they see that you kind of know what you're talking about, or you know what you're talking about. And of course, they're going to play their games. They're going to play their games. They're going to pretend like they don't know you. They're going to, at some point, they were changing the names on the mail they would send. They would change the names. I just mentioned that the post office wouldn't post the date of when things would arrive. They would do all this stuff. And like I would ask them or their associates, I'd say, if this stuff were completely legal, what y'all are doing, why all the games? Why the nonsense? So yeah, I don't know where to go from here.
Well, just to recap, okay, it's been a 20-year-old case.
Yes.
And you have been suffering in silence and not really knowing where to go, what to do. You started studying. You knew something wasn't right, but you didn't know exactly what to do to fix it. Reached out to several people.
Yes.
was overcharged. $1,200 is absolutely is bananas. That's absurdity. And got a lot of runaround from the agency, and they were being very mean-spirited and disrespectful.
Yes.
Right, towards you. This is all before I came into the picture, right?
Yes.
And then I believe it was your daughter who actually found me, I think through YouTube or the Facebook group, I don't remember. And so you guys decided to take the plunge, right?
We did.
Vote of confidence and got my course for a whole $100.
a little short of that 1,200, but yeah, we did.
No. I'm nowhere in the vicinity. Guys, let me just clarify. The course costs what now? How much?
Yours was $100.
You know why?
Paperwork came in, and I saw results after the first one. And not only that, you were with me every step of the way. I would contact you, say, hey, they said this. You'd say, okay, it's time to do this. I'd contact you again and say, okay, they replied like this. You'd say, okay, well, it's time to default these jokers. This guy who's offering the 1,200 course, all he has to offer is, it might work, it might not. Hey, what do you know? You send me that 1,200, we'll find out.
Wow, yeah, and that's typically what people do. They regurgitate information that they find, they repackage it and sell it, and then if you get into any kind of trouble, they don't know what to do. They don't know.
Yeah.
They're just kind of fumbling through it themselves. So that is just the shamefulness that's going on in this whole freedom movement, or whatever you want to call it. But it's just a lot of jokers out here, and I'm just sick and tired of it. I really am.
Well, again, people are thinking it's not going to be overnight. Gabby and I would go to whatever place we needed. Sometimes there wouldn't be parking. Sometimes we have to circle around certain buildings if I'm trying to get something notarized, if I'm trying to get something put on the record or whatever like that. The most foretelling thing was A, when your paperwork changed your tune, and B, when this 20-year case, when the same, I've seen the same so-called judge for 20 years. Again, if this were legal, what they were doing, she wouldn't have came back after your paperwork and just said, oh, you know what, we're just going to drop this, we're done with this, and then lie about it and say, well, we can't find a location for them, so we're just going to let this go. But I'm steadily getting their stuff in the mail because I was running it by you.
Unbelievable. But the biggest thing that the biggest, okay, yes, you're getting the physical, course, you're getting the training, you're getting the education, and you're getting the templates. But the one intangible that no one can compare, and it's lost on them because they're just after they're just money grabbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is super important for me is to give you guys the confidence, the same confidence that I have, because you said it earlier. When you lose that fear, that's off, because you know what did I tell you on the phone? When you know that you're operating on the right side of the law, what can they do? There's nobody, none of them can convince you otherwise, because you know that you're correct. We are laying it out in the template, in the explanation part of the introduction portion of the book. I give you book, chapter, verse. I explain, because you need to know how to stand up to these people, and if it makes sense to you, that's why I really I go over these things like with a fine-tooth comb over and over and over before I release it. And if, like I told you on the phone, if a 5-year-old can't understand this, there's no reason for me to put it out, because it needs to make sense. It just needs to make sense. And so that's the one thing, that's the overwhelming message that I want everyone to take away from this particular video, is the confidence that you're going to receive. Yes, you're going to get the paperwork. Yes, you're going to get the understanding of how the law works and how to protect yourself and how to enforce it. but I want you to get the confidence to know that you can slay these dragons. These people,
Yes,
they have nothing on you, you know, but they're gonna test you to test your mettle, to see how far you're willing to go. And you got to let them know that you're willing to go all the way, meaning you're gonna start this and you're gonna finish it, and you're gonna win in the end, and they're gonna end up owing you, and they don't want that, so they usually back down. Now, is it overnight? Is it instant gratification? Absolutely not. You better put that time in, and you better read this document over and over until you understand it, till it's like deep in your soul. Right. Not just a cursory review and, oh, let me hurry up and, no. You're doing a copy and paste, and you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to read this. I think I mentioned in the course to read it a minimum of 10 times.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Because it's so important, because so many people ask the same questions that would have been answered if they just took the time, and they race through and they make mistakes, and they have to catch themselves, and now you're out here looking crazy. You know. But if you just took the time to read, it took time for me to write it. So just you take the time to read it, and just you got this, guys. You got this. Just read it. Follow the instructions. I made it super, super simple. The work is already done. You just have to execute.
Yeah.
Just like what the white. I mean, like I said, they closed the case twice. They closed the case, reopened it, and closed it again. So closed the case twice. Okay? And I'm not going anywhere. I'm just right here via email. Do not hit me up on the messenger. It's so tiny, I can't deal. Even when you put it on the computer, it's still tiny. Don't messenger me. Email. Isn't that in the course? I mean, am I crazy? Okay. So I'm not crazy. I'm not remembering. It's in the course.
It's in the course. Yes, it is.
Email is support is by email support. People, I'm not going anywhere. Stop the panicking. Stop the panicking. This is their game. You know, just stand in your square and understand who you are, and understand that you are operating on the right side of the law. And that means that they are operating outside of the law.
Yes.
Okay? What happens when you know that you're right? When you know that you're right, you don't back down. You just stand on it. So I have to say that till I'm blue. I'm blue in the face, because people won't stop with the questions. And so, but I get it, because people have been hurt and lied to so many times before. Like, look at the guy was trying to, take you for $1,200, which is absolutely ridiculous.
And the crazy thing is, when you're considered the non-custodial, you tend to think, well, wow, if $1,200 will end it, if that money will get me out of it, maybe not. But Gabby's real headstrong. She's like, no, we ain't doing that. Especially if he can't, guarantee anything. No, we're not doing that. But yeah, they you also mentioned it was something you mentioned. Oh, being aggressive in your correspondence with these people. That was one of my immediate go-tos when I started seeing results. And you're right to be mad. You'd be a fool if this didn't piss you off with what these. I was even incarcerated once, and the charge was flagrant non-support, and I'm like, that's. Anyway.
Craziest charges, I swear.
They come up with anything. And at the end of the day, you have to ease off with over aggressiveness and just play along and let the paperwork speak for itself. Because once I got that dismissal, then my aggressive level shot back up again. But before I got it, I played nice. I was like, okay. Yeah. And I would send them their stuff. So yeah.
Keep it cool. Let cooler heads prevail, and get the case closed, and we'll just take it from there. But yeah, this has been quite the journey with you.
Oh wow!
I'm just so happy that you finally have the case closed after 20 years.
20 years.
$100, guys. I think it's trust me, I have been told, in comparison to from my stuff to other people's, you know, because I get people from all walks of life, every state, every county, every situation, and people compare my stuff, and I don't like the comparison, but they let me know that my course is worth a lot more than what I asked for.
Yes, it is.
And I know you agree, and I'm not like looking for that, but where was I going? I think I'm losing my train of thought. I was going somewhere with it. But basically, it's not about the money. It's about the justice. Okay, this is very personal to me, and it's about, you know, making a wrong right. I mean, I don't know what other way to say it. It's just, it's time for these people to, you know, to recognize that you know, we're not dealing with you know, we're not dealing with some, you know, cockamamie, you know, strategy. Like this is just right. This is just the right thing to do, and we're gonna hold your hand to the fire. And I'm not just out here just trying to play games with you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the frustrating part with why I even began putting courses together, because I really didn't want to. I just had to.
Wow.
Because I'm sick of the games. People have created this into a I don't know what to call it, like a cottage industry where they're taking advantage of people's desperation. You know? And it's not right. So we're getting it on, you know, from the bad actors with bad government, and now we're getting it from bad actors who are, you know, scammers and scalawags. Like it's just ridiculous. So I'm not anybody's savior or anything like that. I'm just trying to do the right thing, and this is my small contribution, you know, to leave this world a better place than I inherited. That's all I'm trying to do here. I mean, I'm not no saint or good at two-shoe, and I cuss up a storm.
A confession.
don't piss me off. But this is my small contribution, because I have dealt with injustice, and I'm just trying to do my small part. And this is what this is my work now. This is what I enjoy doing, and just hearing your success story. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was so upset with you, because I'm like, why would he not? You should have seen me. I
know.
I was like, what? The case got closed. Why you gonna go back? But okay, but everybody is entitled to their own journey and their own learning experience, and I'm like, this man.
I know. I didn't have anything in writing from them, and they will do that.
I know. That's what they
do.
Yeah,
we closed it. Don't worry about it. And then turn around and come after you for it, as if they knew nothing about what they previously said. So once I got it in writing, and I have it, I keep it with me. I make copies of it. I keep it with me. Once I got it in writing, I was like, that's it. Y'all can't say anything from here.
But the key is, I don't tell grown folks what to do. Did I ever tell you to do that? I never did. I listened to what you wanted to do, and I supported you in whatever path that you wanted. Whatever you. Now I would say, if it were me, this is what that's how I always put it. But it is entirely up to you. And I never tried to persuade or convince or argue. None of that. None of that. I don't have that kind of time.
I understand.
You know, so I just want to say, you know, congratulations. We are here. We're letting the world know that this thing is real. It's working. It's worked for Dewite. It's worked for a lot more people. But I just had to bring this to the forefront, because you are definitely a special case, because it was closed and open and closed again. So that is, it's a good reckoning, you know, to know that it worked for you.
Yes.
Like I said, it worked for everyone else that, you know, that they tell me, but a lot of them, they don't want to come out of the shadows. They just want to stay private. And that's their right. That's well within their right. I wish more people would interview, but hey, it is what it is. Everybody have a right to their privacy. But thank you. Oh, before I forget, I did want to shout out your daughter, Gabby.
She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
Amazing. Remind me her age again. I'm sorry.
15. 15.
Guys, you two just turned 15?
Just turned 15.
And have the heart of a lion, determination, and but the biggest thing that I want to praise her for, because you raised her right, obviously. But when you told me on the phone the story, I will never forget.
Yeah.
Was approached by some people who wanted to do a little barter trade situation.
Yes.
For the course, my course that
yes.
they taught, and she had the integrity and the morality. And she said no immediately without the bat of an eye. Like
right.
Right. I was so, I mean, you've got to be so proud. I'm proud of her because I have had that going on. I don't know, word got out, spread out, hey, Ann's course, whatever, and I appreciate the compliment, but the shadiness and doing backdoor deals, that only hurts all parties involved.
Yes, it does.
Because when the person the recipient, not the sender and the recipient are hurting each other because they can't help each other if there's a unique situation that arises, such as with yours. And then not only that, it definitely it's stealing from me.
Yes.
Because I'm on a mission to free all of us. So it's a community effort for me, okay? I'm only one, and I do a lot of studying, I do a lot of research. I put, blood, sweat, and tears into what I do, and I do it, as a labor of love, and then I'm charging so little bit. I'm asking for a $100 donation. I don't think that's unreasonable to expect that people to act above board and say no. You need to go ahead and purchase it yourself and share the link, not the file, okay? But your daughter exemplified, just an amazing level of maturity that most adults, some of these adults, don't have, and I just want to say kudos, thank you for the level of loyalty I don't deserve. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I thank you, Gabby, and I just wanted to just say I'm super, super proud, and we just need more dad and father relationships like this. So I just wanted to say that publicly to everyone. Honestly, when you told me that, I was blown away.
Oh, I was blown away. Like I said, I check her Facebook messaging because just yesterday, last night or whatever, she's at that cheer camp, and these guys will just try to talk to her, and clearly they're well above 15. They are older men, so I keep an eye on that. Because, as I told you, she's 15. She gets on nerves that I did not know I have. But on the same note, I will knock her out, Miss Ann. If I find her on there doing anything, I'll shut it off. I'll probably knock her out first, then shut it off, whichever order. But when I read that, and the guy was like, "Well, yeah, I got this paperwork. I'll swap it with you if you want to give me Miss Ann stuff." And I started thinking, oh boy. And then I got to the part where she said, I'm not going to do that. She said, I love Miss Ann. I'm not going to do that. And yeah. I melted a little bit. I said, you know what? Maybe I won't knock her out.
No, don't knock her out. Don't knock her. She did the right thing. And it just it counts so much more when, your children behave in a take the high road when you're not around, when you're not looking.
Integrity.
Oh man, that was beautiful. So I just wanted to recognize that because that is real and it's happening, and I don't know what to do to stop it, because I have to always send out, cease and desist, and I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
Just act right. Why do I have to sue you? Like, do you think I have time to sue you? Like, come on, just act right.
And the other thing, a lot of people want stuff for free. A lot of these people don't understand the time
Yeah.
Literally the hours upon hours and your research and stuff, and maybe you got it wrong the first time. Okay, I found a better way. And what they want is, oh, just out of the kindness of your heart, just give it to me for free. And it's like the world doesn't work that way, because if they were paying a lawyer to do what you do, oh wow, that 1,200 that guy's asking for would look like chump change. If they had to pay a lawyer, a
Mhm.
retainer,
Mhm.
just to talk to him to get him to do what you do. So yeah.
Yeah, the $100 is, I mean, it's just, it's pennies on the dollar for what you would, in comparison to a lawyer representing this case, this type of a situation. Oh yeah, a minimum of $2,500, I promise you. And
And they wouldn't even get half done what you've gotten done.
I know, I know. And so for all this, shady backdoor craziness dealings, it's ridiculous. For $100 that could do so much good,
Yes.
if you just contribute the donation, get on the right steps, get the right journey, and be done with it. You
Yes.
don't have to worry about it. Just be done with it. And you get the, follow-up support from me, the creator of the course.
Yes.
Like, if you get it somewhere else, you're not going to get that kind of, because they're not going to know what to tell you or what to do.
No, they won't.
I mean, but anyway, we'll see how this journey goes. Hopefully someone will hear this and it'll just jump into their spirit and really affect their heart, because some people out here with some messed up hearts, let me tell you, they need to fix that heart and
Yes,
get
indeed.
right. I mean, come on. So I just, but anyway, to end on a positive note, thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you too.
For being here with me. Thank your daughter. I really appreciate her for standing up for doing the right thing at such a young age. Oh my gosh, unbelievable! I had to get that in here. So, did you have any final words of encouragement, I guess?
Stick with it. If you buy the course, stick with it. Do not back down. Better yet, if you know going into it that maybe not, don't waste your time, because these people, they play word games, they play all kind of games, and they're going to swallow you up. But if you're going in it and you know that I'm going to see this through to the end, then stick with it.
Would you? I kind of think I know the answer, but would you recommend my child support course?
Let me think of that. Absolutely, absolutely. When I opened that letter that said dismissed, you literally feel a weight, and it's not just for the figurative speech of it or the cliche saying. You literally feel. I felt 20 years.
Wait.
Yes,
Yeah.
I felt 20 years come off of my shoulders. I would absolutely recommend it, and I would tell people to stay away from these guys, asking for 12, fighting each other. A lot of them fight each other on YouTube, and I'm like, that's some of the worst thing. Our people, that's some of the worst stuff our people can do.
I've seen it.
Fighting each other over a system put together by Esau. I don't know if you know. I'm sure you know who Esau is. I apologize.
Yeah, it's
A,
biblical.
a, a system put together by Esau, and our people, men, are fighting each other on YouTube, and it's petty is an understatement. But yes, I would absolutely recommend your course.
Immature and
Yes,
unnecessary, and it helps no one.
it doesn't.
It's not helping you as your individual family. It's not helping the community at large. It helps no one. And so that's what I wanted to put a dent in. I'm trying my best, just one course at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking it out. I know it was frustrating.
Oh yeah.
Initially getting all these ridiculous notices and the game playing and having to deal with all that. But, it was all worth it in the end, because it's case closed. Guys, I can't ask for anything better. This is the stuff dreams are made of, and
Yes.
This is why I do what I do, okay? So, with that being said, I am going to put the link in the video description box, because I get that too. Where do I get it? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to put the link in the video description box, and the course has the email for follow-up support if you need it. You really don't need it, but sometimes you might get a little frustrated depending on whatever you're going through. It's called life. This is, you know, there's no rehearsal, dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Stuff comes up and you get frustrated, you forgetful, whatever. I'm right here via email. Don't come on YouTube commenting major questions. Come on now. I get it. So thank you. I will wrap up the recording.
Thank you so much for everything you're saying. Kwam Yasharala.
What was that?
That's Rise Israel. That's our people. You too, Miss Ann. You are a Hebrew Israelite queen. Kwam Yasharala, Rise Israel.
I'm a queen, y'all. Okay. Okay. Bye. See you guys on the next video.
All right. Bye-bye.
Check the video description box. Bye.